Jerry Butler, I'm Chairman of the Landcare Association of South Australia, and we're here for the Landcare Conference. Thank you to Waikerie for the great generosity of spirit and business, and we're looking forward to a fabulous 3 days. We're just about to go off on the field tours, and there are 6 of those going to different attractions and interests around the district. So this is the Gerard Aboriginal Community Our Country, Our Future tour. And what I'd like you to do is appreciate that we've got an hour to get out there, so enjoy the scenery, but I just wanted to go through a couple of things with you. I'm going to give you a handout that we've prepared, which has got a little snapshot of the speakers and the timing of the tour.
My name is Gerard Aboriginal. I'm a community member and also a board of director of Gerard Aboriginal Council, and I work for the Aboriginal Lands Trust. On behalf of the community, I'd like everybody here. Hopefully you get a bit of stuff out of today.
So I'm just going to talk about the Hay project. The Hay project started about 3 years ago. Some of the elders came to see me. They wanted to do something out here, and they had an old almond orchard out here, and while I want you to try and imagine the almond orchard, because it was just an absolute mess. If you can imagine, 300 acres of old almond trees all dead, weeds growing all through them, kangaroos, rabbits running through them, noxious weeds, the whole box and dice. It was an eyesore, and it was also, for the residents here, a reminder of the past. So now the elders came to see me about 3 years ago, and what they wanted to do was to start up the old irrigation system and grow some vegetables, just to give the community members something to do, try and get them some work, whatever. And while that was a great idea, the irrigation system they had here was too large and too powerful for a small operation. They asked me what else they could do, so then I did some sums for them and all that, and we come up with Lucerne. We looked at going back into vineyards, going back into peaches, going back into almonds, all the types of things that they could have done, and Lucerne kept coming up as the one thing that they could do out here with what they had. And then the SARMS 3IP system came along for irrigation efficiency packages here or along the river, and we certainly saw that as an opportunity. We sat down with them, had a meeting, and then we put in an application, and we were successful in getting funding through that SARMS 3IP to renovate, put in a new irrigation system and switch the orchards over from the old almond orchard to a Lucerne growing enterprise, and that's what we've done. At the moment, you can look out here, you can see two big circles of Lucerne out here, and those are on the bus have just seen there's 2 circles of oats down there as well. So what the plan is to grow these at full bore we've put in 3 centre pivot irrigators. The one down the end there has to move between 2 patches. These 2 here are permanent. We now have a state-of-the-art irrigation system. Pretty soon we'll be cutting hay out here and baling hay and selling it on the open market, just like anybody else who grows it. So this business is fully standalone. It's apart from getting that funding, which Gerard had to sell water to do, and everybody else that went on that program had to sell water back to the government to achieve their aims and goals about water recovery.
I guess it started back in 2013, where the Wetland and Floodplain Program was successful in receiving funding through the Australian Government's Biodiversity Fund. and that was looking at maintaining and improving the condition of long-lived vegetation on the floodplain across 1,250 hectares, and one of the sites we looked at was Gerard, and it was a high priority site for us, firstly because there's black box, which was our study species. There was a lot of interest shown for the project, and it's also a high priority site. It's not just culturally, but also ecologically. I guess the problem with black boxes, though, they're not often situated fringing around nice discrete wetland basins, and so you can't actually hold the water in an area. So we've had to think outside the square, and we've been looking at trialling different dripper irrigation systems to maintain the condition of some of these trees. Looked at 90 trees as part of this trial. So the trees were allocated into plots, and there were 5 trees in each plot. So this is our irrigation setup. So we have shuttles that we can deliver water to the Gerard Black Box environmental watering trial. I have to say, without the Gerard ALOT crew, this project probably wouldn't have even gotten up. They've been driving this project since it started. They, literally rolled out the irrigation hose, they set up the shuttles, they painted them with UV resistant paint. So they've done a terrific job, and they come out quarterly and they help me monitor 90 trees, which after a while wears off.